There you go. Nope, about lost him. Nice first bite. Good way to start the morning off. Nice, pretty Oklahoma chunk. We need that one's grandmother, but that's a good start. First thing in the morning, about 15 cast in. We just pulled into a nice pocket, kind of quiet back here. It's got a nice flat on it. Throwing around one of my favorite Yozuri 3DB Squarebills, and one of my favorite colors. Awesome bait this time of year, catches a ton of fish. So I like throwing Squarebill in general throughout the year a lot, but in the fall I like throwing it a bunch. They're eating a lot of bait, but you know, usually this time of year it's that fall pattern kind of going more towards winter, and usually they're back on some shallower stuff, shallow flats. I find myself in these type of places a lot too, especially around like isolated cover, isolated pieces of wood, things like that. And it's just a really good bait to cover a lot of water quick and make a lot of casts and generate a good bit of bites. Look at this guy. Look at this big guy. Look at that lunker. Now, we do have bass in Oklahoma that could eat this one. Come out of there. Guy. It's a solid 12 ouncer. Maybe more like 8. This steep, bigger chunk rock here is just, I mean, it's naturally a fishy looking area, so it just makes sense to give it a whirl. You know, just make a quick pass down it. Let the fish tell you if there's something there. I mean, it's as simple as that. There he is. Oh, got me on something. Had me wrapped up around something. What we got here? We got us a dirty water smallmouth. Look how white that thing is. He is just, looks like some kind of saltwater croaker or something. We're just going down some riprap on a highway, trying to, you know, just generate a bite. You know, a lot of times these places will have good population of fish. If you look at the rocks on the bank, you can see down 5 or 6 inches. It's not just real bad, but the bait, you know, you can see it down there a little ways. It's kind of a clean brown look to it. It's not real muddy, but I thought chartreuse and black, a little bit of the flash might just, you know, trigger one to bite. Yeah, anytime I come up to a riprap stretch, straight bank, a lot of times I'll get up here, I'll keep the boat off, just barely off the rocks. I really like to make long casts. The longer cast to me, the better. I really like to try to figure out where the fish are. Are the fish gonna be up like a foot off the rocks, right where it starts to go down? Are they 5 or 6 foot off the rocks, or are they out about where the boat's sitting? But I always like to be on the bottom, hitting the bottom. That's why I'm throwing a Squarebill right now. I'm just beating these rocks up. You know, 9 times out of 10 when I pull up to a bridge or something, I'll just pick up something, a shallow running crankbait like this, a Squarebill, or something that gets down to a 4, 5, 6 foot range, and that's what I just like to roll with. This is a crankbait rod. It's a 7'2" cranking rod from Alpha Angler. One of my absolute favorite rods. We got the Arc Gravity 8 reel. I throw all 8-to-1s on everything. You've got to be able to pick up slack quick. This particular one has 14-pound Yo-Zuri T7 fluorocarbon on it. I really like to stay between 12 to 16 when I'm throwing Squarebills, depending on how much cover, how much wood that I'm around. The bait is it's a Yo-Zuri 3DB, one of my favorite colors. A very natural looking color. I can't even tell you how many fish that I've caught on that particular bait over the years. You notice there's a lot of nicks and stuff on here, but there's no paint chipping and stuff like that. A lot of their paint's on the inside of the bait, so it doesn't chip and flake off. Second bait we threw today, which you saw us catch the absolute whitest smallmouth, I think, in history. This one is a chartreuse and black 3DB Yo-Zuri Squarebill. You know, this rod, it's a 7'2" universal rod from Alpha Angler. Got a little bit more meat to it. It's just when I'm throwing Squarebills and then maybe like a bait that gets down to that 6 to 10 foot depth, I just like a little bit more meat. There he is, good one. Felt like a better one. It's another smallmouth. Another white smallmouth. He got him a face full of chartreuse and black. Nice fish. He was super shallow. My bait had hit the water and I'd turned the handle 2 or 3 times, which would have only got it down about 2.5 foot or so, and it locked up. Kind of back here on the non-windy side up high, he may have been just setting up a little higher. Get some sun, get a little warmth. It's a good sign. Gives you some confidence and hey, I could go back down this and probably catch another one. And go to the other side of the bridge and catch a couple as well. Back here in the back of a pocket again, like we were this morning. Got some docks with some brush on it. So I just thought we'd try something a little different this afternoon. You definitely don't want to get caught up in just thinking you're only going to catch them one way. And I've said it a couple times a day, let the fish tell you where they're at and what they want. You may crush them on a jerkbait one day and you hadn't had a bite on it all week. And then tomorrow we may come back and may be a crankbait deal again tomorrow. That's why you gotta stay open about it, not just dead set on one thing. This is the Yo-Zuri 3DB 110 deep jerkbait. Another really good color. We're down here in some cleaner water this afternoon, and you know, that's a real good color choice for that clean water. This rod, this is a 610. It's a medium fast action jerkbait rod. It's called the Slasher. I've thrown a jerkbait more the past couple years than I ever have in my life, mainly due to forward-facing sonar, G7 gravity reel from Arc again in an 8-to-1 ratio. But on here I've got 10-pound T7 fluorocarbon. The key, and one of the reasons that I throw 10 and not 12 or 14 is because I've got to get this jerkbait to dive as fast as possible when I'm using it. I very seldom throw a standard jerkbait anymore. I really like the deep divers. The deeper I can get it to dive, the sharper I can get it to dive, the better it works for me. I don't want to have to throw to 100 foot to get my bait down 6, 8, 10 foot to where the fish is. And by the time I bring it back from 100 to say 60, that fish could have already swam through, it could have got out of the path of my bait. If you see a jerkbait on my boat, it's gonna be a deep diving one. All right, so let's take a look at the map and I'll kind of lay out where we went today and why we went there, and you know, places you can look to catch fish. We started off this morning, went into the back of a pocket. There's always fish around marinas, always. So they're always gonna be fairly close by too. Like the first 5 minutes I caught one. There was a lot of bait activity in here, and you know, a really good sign to catch fish. We left there, there's a bridge over here, and it's very hard for me to go by a bridge and at least not fish the corners. And we ended up catching 2 smallmouth here. Really, really good looking area. There's always fish on bridges, no matter what time of the year it is. And then we made it to this far, basically west region of the lake, and some docks with some brush, a lot of good brush and stuff in here. And it's always something really good to look at. You could come back in there tomorrow and catch a 20-pound bag out of them. It's just kind of judging how the mood is today and if they're gonna bite or not. Come on. Oh God, got him. Come back, got it. That was pretty cool. Missed him and he come back up and got it. I think it's another smallmouth. Yep. Yeah, we switched up, came down here to a dock area that's got some brush. Broke out the 110 deep Missouri jerkbait around some brush and stumps, and this one was sitting out here all by herself on a stump. Missed her, and then she come back and got it. Pretty smallmouth. Today's just the day we're gonna catch smallmouth.